Okay, you're resting on a box of fairy lights and the sun is going down, so we're gonna see how this goes. So today's kind of a quick one. I recently read Mrs. Zant and the Ghost by Wilkie Collins. It was tucked in right at the back of my edition of No Name, which I've already done a review of. And I just thought it was a really sort of short, fun ghost story that I wanted to talk about today. So yeah, so this novel, or novelette, short story, whatever it is narrated from the point of view of Mr. Rayburn, and he's out with his little daughter Lucy in the park in London, and they come across this woman who's having a bit of a funny moment, funny turn, and yeah, they just wonder what's going on. Is she alright? Is she, does she need help? This woman claims that she has just seen the ghost of her husband, a man who died pretty much as soon as she married him. Mr. Rayburn gets interested in this woman's story, what's wrong with her, or if nothing's wrong with her, then why is she seeing this ghost? What's going on? And so it kind of blends the supernatural with the detective as he tries to work out what's going on in her life that has resulted in this. So, like many of Wilkie Collins' characters, Mrs. Zant is a woman in need, and she's kind of being taken advantage of, and that's what the ghost is there to tell us and to tell her. It's warning her that her brother-in-law is being too controlling and she better get out of his clutches as fast as she can, because this brother-in-law is trying to force her into an illegal marriage. And this sort of plot of the brother-in-law is what the ghost is trying to warn Mrs. Zant about. And so the sort of story goes forward with Mr. Rayburn trying to rescue her from her horrible brother-in-law, and the ghost also gets another part in the book as he gets revenge on the brother-in-law. It's all very fun. So what I really liked about this ghost story is that it isn't like an encounter in the middle of the night in a creepy house. It's the centre of London in a park with people around them, like a place that kind of represents life and modernity, not something that's crumbling and falling apart. And so I like this play on the traditional ghost story because it's not steeped in the past. It's not a ghost, that's bringing up past histories. It's a ghost that's steeped in, a place of modernity, and he's warning about the future. I don't know, I thought that was a really interesting play on it. And it was also a nice spin on it to have the ghost protecting his wife from beyond the grave, that kind of love endures forever sort of vibe. Very lovely. But also I did feel that although it was a bit of a launch pad into going into talking about the sort of vulnerable positions that women can be pushed into, part of me was kind of thinking surely Wilkie Collins definitely has better ways of talking about these themes, and we've seen that in The Woman in White and in No Name already. But then, you think about it and it's well, yes, okay, he obviously has better ways of talking about this, so why has he gone all this far-fetched of doing a ghost story? And to be honest, I think it's just Wilkie Collins having a bit of fun, which I think is the key to enjoying this short story. I think a lot of people think it's quite bland because it's not a thrilling, crazy ghost story. It's a ghost story and the sort of thing that Wilkie Collins always does. And so I genuinely just think it's Wilkie Collins just having a bit of fun with it, of, adding that excitement, not as a serious ghost story, but as a kind of oh look, I'm doing my thing, and how did I get here this time? A ghost told me. Yeah, I thought it was just a bit of fun, which was quite nice. Yeah, and the other thing I enjoyed about this book was just Mr. Rayburn's relationship with his daughter. She's obviously there when you first meet Mrs. Zant, and she kind of is present at times, and is interacting with her, asking questions, and yeah, no one seems to sort of talk about the little girl, but I think that sort of family relationship was quite just a really lovely element of this story. But yes, all in all, a short review for a short story. But yeah, I really did enjoy this story. I felt like it was slightly eclipsed because it came straight after reading No Name by Wilkie Collins, which was, quite a big, broad, jam-packed, exciting story. So coming after that, it's a bit of a meh story. But yeah, I felt for, a very quick read, easily flicked through in an hour, even if you're slow like me. I don't think Wilkie Collins was taking it too seriously either, so I think all in all it's, a fun, fast read. So yeah, Definitely read it if you fancy it. It's quite often available for free. I know mine was just tucked into my copy of No Name, just tucked in the back. I mean, since it's quite often available for free, you might as well read it if you're interested. That was my very, very short review of Mrs. Zant and the Ghost by Wilkie Collins. I hope you enjoyed it. The sun is just about disappearing behind that hill, so I'm gonna say goodbye, but I'll hopefully see you next week with another video soon. Bye!